So just like when it comes to designing, it's not just to design and say, okay, I'm done with design. There are so many things to consider. So what is designing for accessibility? Designing for accessibility is simply designing products that even people with disability can use. Now, if you notice, most of our products today, they are actually considering all of those things. If you out um check out some phones, why you have opportunity to type, even when we are prepared for, let's say you're trying to design something for keyboard and you have the one that you type, you still have the one that you can record. Okay. So one of the products I'm trying to build is a product for people, disabled people. And now, remember that when you talk about disabled people, if you want to now start grouping it, you get to realize that you have so many of them. Let's see, you have the ones that are deaf, you have the ones that are dumb, you have those. But now the good thing about it is that they have things that is aiding them in using all of these online tools. So designing for accessibility is not just putting a particular set of disabled people in your head. It's you trying to design for every you're trying to what you're doing is you're designing in a way where people with these known issues would not have issues using your platform. So that's what designing for accessibility is. It's just designing for everybody. Now the question is, can you design for everybody? You have target audience, right? While you're designing, that's one thing that makes you a product designer. One of the things is to be able to identify your key target audience and be able to design something that resonates with them, or something that easily they can easily relate to and they can easily use. That's one of it. But while you're doing that, you know that you cannot control the people that will come to your website. There are some websites that we've seen so far that we never knew that we'd be able to find it. It might be that you're searching online and you find it. So that's it. Now, more things that you can put in your mind when you're trying to design for this set of people is people with disability can be people that can perceive, they can understand, they can navigate, they can interact with your web, they can also contribute to your web. So when you're trying to design for them, these are the things you need to actually put into consideration. One, you need to put into consideration, or the three parts of your design. You need to put the cognitive part, neurological part. You need to also consider the physical part, the speech, the visuals. So let's say I'm one-handed and I'm using your and I'm trying to use your platform. Let's say it's my right hand that is not there. So my right hand is there. My right hand is not there, so I use my left hand to do all of those things. Will I be able to access your button? Will it be easy for me to click without me trying to fold my phone and all of that? Then for web accessibility, it's not just impacting people that have disability, it's also impacting people that are using different mobile phones. It's affecting people that are using smart watches, smart TVs, smaller screens, and that's not necessarily laptop. So you need to think about that. You need to also think about older generation. So if my 70 years old father comes to your platform, will he be able to navigate your platform, or will he not be able to navigate all of those things? Then people with situational limitation, people like, okay, let's say for instance, if they once the sun is bright, can they use your phone? Or people that cannot listen to audio, let's say for like today I had a very important meeting to join as at 4 o'clock, but I forgot about the meeting because I did not put it in my calendar, and I went out without my headset. I went out without my earpiece. And the only thing that saved me is, like, this is something that can give me almost um $30,000 in credits. Like the meeting, it's supposed to give me a service that is worth $30,000 in credits. And you can imagine, I went out without my earpiece. Now the saving grace is that Zoom can record, or let's just this is not even close to it, but let me just use it. Zoom can record. But if it's something that it's like an audio meeting, and because I can't listen with audio, there can be like a feature to transcribe everything this person is saying as text, so that even without listening to what the person is saying, my face will be glued to the screen, and I'll be looking at what it's being transcribed. So you can see that when you're designing, you have to think of all of these things. How about people that they just have some form of limitation, like the one I had today without going out with that earpiece, and I had to join a very important meeting. You get, so all of those things. Imagine if Zoom did not put that into consideration and leaving the chat. So when it was time for me to introduce myself, everybody introduced themselves, and it was now my turn to introduce myself. I just quickly typed my introduction and told them I was not in a place that I can talk. But imagine there was no chat feature, I wouldn't be able to introduce myself in that meeting and all of that. So think about all of these things when you're trying to design. Then there are some people that have low internet connection and all of that. This accessibility, designing for accessibility would also help them and not just helping you. So how is designing for accessibility, or how is accessibility very important for individual businesses and the society? Why is it very important? It's very important because it will give people access. Now, one of the reasons why your company is employing you is because they want their product to be very good. So a friend of mine redesigned, I don't know if you know Raven Bank. Raven, Raven. So and I've been seeing positive reviews on Twitter. Like I've been seeing reviews. Wow, the app is now very fine. This from that tweet, more people are going to check it out. Now that's the goal. When they employ you, what are you doing? If they employ you, I don't know if it's in this class that we talked about the return on investment. Okay, no, it's not in this class. There are return on investment as a product designer. Those are the things that you put in your CV. Sometimes you've been wondering, my CV, I've submitted my CV to different people, and I've not been getting call back. There are things you need to put there. I joined this company and they had to 50%, they had how will I put it? They had 10% of their users leaving the platform once they sign up. That's analytics. Once they sign up, 10% of the people on the platform leaves the platform. But since they employ you, the number reduced to 2%. That's a very good return on investment in the side of the in the company. So let's say before you got into the company, there is no the people don't use their platform. Deaf and dumb people don't use their platform. People with disability don't use their platform. But then because you joined and you redesigned it, these people are able to use it. People in rural communities, will they be able to use your platform? People in developing countries, um how is it going to help them? Now I was talking about the advantages with all of these people that before can't use your platform. Once they start using the platform, that's more money for the company and all of that. And aside the more money part of it, you're solving major problem, you're solving more problem for people, because the more I can use your platform, the more it reduces my stress, or it reduces what I get to do, or what where I get to look for people to help me and all of that. So now let's talk about the things that some of the basic things you need to consider when you're designing for accessibility. One is to provide sufficient contrast between your background and your your foreground and your background. So I've seen designs that is so that's so no nice. Okay. So there's no need sharing this again. Let me just go to the platform straight, designing for accessibility. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, ma.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So I want to open the platform so that we'll be seeing the examples and it's not just me talking. Okay, so while it's open, I don't know if some of you've seen designs where um somebody is using red as the background. Is it red? And then the next thing you're using blue, or you're using a very off color as the text color. You already know that that color is blinding. Or sometimes because we say your because we say your header text should be different from your body text. It should not be the same. Sometimes what people do is once they do the header text, for instance, they use 010101, that's not pure black, they make it bold. Now, when it comes to the body text, you'd see them reducing the opacity of the text to like 100. From 100, they'll now reduce it to like 30. Okay, so okay. So can you guys, okay, you guys can see him. Now this is an example. Yeah. Okay, so it's opening. I don't know why it's doing like that, but I wanted us to see the example. But I guess we're able to visualize what I mean. When we talk about contracts, there are some colors that you can't, or that there's some colors that is not advisable that you use. You need to understand contracts. Now, as intermediate people, we are expected that it's not everything that you'll be told. Sometimes you just need to even do your own due diligence by going online to check out for how contrast work, the kind of colors that you can use. So sometimes I tell people that instead of stressing your head looking for how to match different contracts and all of that, you can use Color.co. Color.co would help you match your colors very well, because by the time you want to use this particular color as your text color and you have a background color, if you go there and you use the contracts checker to help you check it, it's going to check it for you, and you would see there are also different tools that you can use to aid your contracts in your design. You can use to make it better. Then also I've seen people that they use just colors to convey their information. For instance, you want to show that this is a required field. You see people just use that red asterisk. And then remember that not even everybody can understand what that red asterisk is. So you should be able to use this that required feature. Now, what if you're designing for someone that is blind? There should be an option where there should be something like something that translates it to audio. While some of these actually it will help the developers, because you know that these days developers, if you don't give them UI, they might end up not knowing where to put this and where not to put that. So but then if you're trying to design depending on your target audience and you know the kind of people that will use it, you try to make everything simple. These days Google, yeah, Google these days, I can decide to just use my voice to tell Google what I wanted to do and it will come out there. Some AI tools are coming that would easily help in doing this. So a student of mine got a job recently. Okay, was applying for an international internship, and one of the things they asked him to do was a design And from the look of the design, from everything that was stated in the design, you could easily tell that that design is actually for people, that it's for it's designing for accessibility. Because the whole this thing is a transcriber. The whole platform they told him to design a dashboard is a transcriber, and what they wanted him to do is I should be able to talk and it converts it to text. Now, not just converting it to text, I should be able to upload something. I should be able to upload a document and convert the document to audio too. So the whole goal of them building that is for people that are blind, and people that are deaf, and all of that. It's serving both set of people. So when you're trying to, most times we just use colors to do things. I've seen designs where when you talk about error messages, include error messages in your design. You see somebody just put the red line as the red line as your outline. Just put the red line there, and once you see red line, everybody, because they say when you're designing or when you're using your accent color, red means danger. So once you talk about red, what comes to everybody's mind is this is danger. So because of that, there's an error there, there's no error there, and all of those things. So instead of just using colors, which most persons do, they'll just use colors and put it there to indicate that this is danger. You can just use supporting text. Now, so you don't refer. We've talked about, you don't refer to something using colors alone. Let's say, for instance, you have a rectangle of 50 colors, and it's, let me see if this thing has open now. So it has not. Okay. So you have a checkbox, or you have something to select different things, and then let's say, for instance, you have all of them, different colors, from purple to green to all of that, and then you're asking somebody which of these is, they are all okay, let me use, what should I use. So which currency? I'm trying to look for something that is relatable. Okay, so let's say we have different clothes, but the same color, the same material, the same fabric. We have trouser in it, we have shorts, we have 3/4 length, we have shirts, we have all of these colors, we have all of these clothes and the same color. And then you are to put them on let's say it's a decision making, you're trying to do something for tailors, and let's say the platform is as a user, I just need to come to the platform and I upload my fabric. Once I upload my fabric, the system is able to suggest the different clothes that can, wow, this is a nice listen. Are you sure this is not going to be an extra? So the as a user, the system is just going to now give you a suggestion of different what's it called, different clothes suggestions that you can use with that kind of with that kind of this with that kind of material. Now let's say you're to list them down, the result. So once I upload, the results will come up with different, with all of these pictures scattered around. Now let's say I want to name them. I'll now say shirts. I want to name them and now say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see that that's actually very complex for somebody with low IQ, or for someone, okay, let's forget the low IQ, because not everybody with low IQ would know. There are some clothes that you would see that you don't even know. Let's say for instance, for females, they have the one that they call butterfly top, all of those different tops. Now, not everybody knows the name. So someone like me, I don't even know the names of different kinds of, okay, let me use something that I don't know the names of makeups. what we use for makeup. I don't know their names. I can only tell you this is powder. I don't know the others. So let's say you're giving me a makeup kit and you don't label it and tell me to go and bring out something. Go and bring out, is it eyeshadow? Go and bring out this glue or this. I wouldn't be able to bring it out. But if you label it well, so what am I trying to say in this is labeling matters when you're trying to design for accessibility. You have these things, the tail for like the tailor clothes. Now you have all of these things. Just label it instead of using one, two, three, four. Just say this is trouser, this is short, this is shirt, this is gown, this is this, so that I'll be able to know exactly what I'm selecting without even thinking. Then the next thing is you should use interactive elements to that is very easy to understand. That's very easy to understand. Let's say for instance, over on your mouse. That's a very good feature for if you're designing for accessibility. If I bring my mouse close to KodeCamp, it should let me know that my mouse is there. So over effects, you use things like over effect, you use things like mouse click. So where my mouse is clicking. If we don't have all of those things, I don't think online class would be sweet or online class would be good to use. You get, so all of these things aids in making the class in very online class interesting, cause with things like this I'll be able to you will be able to see my screen, my mouse as it's moving. But then if we don't have all of these things and then nothing is showing, but then once I've clicked on something, it to go to the next page. You won't be able to identify it very well. Then things like once I click on it, once I touch a screen, all of those interactive things, and you know that it's okay. It's very important that you do them in your designs, because if you don't, most developers won't. Then how you name your interactive elements. Some people that can't use a mouse can use a keyboard too. So the same thing. If I'm moving my keyboard, if I'm moving um my up, right, left, and down button, it should give me the same feel as it's giving me with my mouse, because some people would use their keyboard to navigate. So you should know that not everybody will use all of those. So even when I'm using my keyboard, I should have all of those focus kind of effects and all of that. Then provide a very clear and consistent navigation option. Your navigation should be very clear. So if I say I want to do a search, it should be there. You should give me orientation clues. I should what breadcrumbs are like in designs, clear headings. I should be able to know what this is and what this is not. Then ensure that your form elements are clearly as they have good labels. All your form elements, they should have labels. I've seen things like your email address and then there's no label in it telling you what exactly you need to do. That's why you see um things like enter your email address here, do this one, don't do this one, don't do this one. If you want to do your if you're putting form, sometimes most people see it as waste of time. Where I'll put there's first name, what's not the need of putting enter your first name here? But all of those things are very important, because you don't know the people that would visit your website. They say there's a particular, I don't know if it's a saying though, but you don't know many are okay. It's not a saying, so let me not say it. So there are some people that they don't even take time to do what they want to do. Like they are always in a rush. You would see somebody was we've even made personally we've done it before, yeah. So imagine filling a bank form and then because you see name and what comes to your mind is full name without even looking like that they broke down the name to first name, middle name, and last name. This is like filling a bank form, a physical bank form. You notice that sometimes some people as they are filling, I've done it before where I was filling something and I did not know that it was just my first name that was required. I go to my three names there. By the time I was done and I checked the form, I saw um the other ones. So when you come to digital product like that, you need to include that, enter your password here, enter your email here, enter your this here, so that people would understand the exact thing or the exact part that you want them to understand, or the exact thing you want them to fill in at that point. And you should not have too much space. Like you should not when you're doing your forms should not be badly spaced. You see some people using up to 24 pixel between forms, and you're wondering why. If you implement it, it's just like I have one form here, and I'll track. I can walk past the other ones before I get to the last form. So you should also provide identifiable feedback. You know those feedback for alerts, form submission. If you want to notify, all of these things are things that aid accessibility. So it's not just designing. They tell most of us to design forms. Now we just design the form and leave it like that. What happens when now when I talk about most of us, there are times that I've done it. Even recently I've done it, but then at the end of the day, that's not the best way to work, because the reason why I've done this, the kind of developers I work with, they are people that they've been doing this for a while. So they know how their error messages is going to go, but it's all shades of wrong. It's very wrong when trying to design list your error list, icons, background, all of those things should stand out. You should be pointing errors, and you need to design it. If email is invalid, let it be email is invalid. There's no need saying 404 this, that. You should do all of those things. Then use headings and spacing to group related content. So if these two are go together, let's say what should I use for instance? Um let's say I'm using things like supermarket. Yeah, in a supermarket, we have groceries, we have provisions, we have all of these things, yeah. And then I want to group them with headings, yeah. I can just say this is grocery, and then I just group all of those things that are in grocery will be close to each other, and the other ones will be like that. Even when you do your hero section and you design, for instance, you design your hero section, and below your hero section you're having like a list of items. You know that once I was talking to some set of people today, and I told them that reusable components, the reason why people can easily have reusable components is because they are related. Let's say for instance I want to design a card, and I know that I'll use this card again somewhere. So these cards, when I'm designing different cards. So yeah, I know that this one will be to list this one will be to list this one will be to list this, and then the things that are in same categories, you list them together, right? You don't say, okay, because I'm using this card now, for instance, I'm going to put, let's say the card that you have is, you design different cards here, and the first card has the picture. After the picture, the next thing I have is like the text. After the text, I have the pricing, I have the button. This is one card. And then the next card is, and this is like a bigger card, the next card just have the picture and then the name. Do you think I would use the two in the same place? No, I won't. If I want to place two on my screen, I will use the similar ones to place it. So group things that are related to each other. Then, when it comes to designing for accessibility, design with different frames in mind. Design, we talked about that, where you design for this different frames. You design for web and all of that. Each content you're able to adapt to different screen size, because you cannot control what people use to visit your website. If people are coming to your website with phone, you can't control that. So try to design with different screens. Then when you have an image in your design, you should use alternatives to represent it. So let's say for instance you have an image, yeah, that you want to do. You can include an audio version of the image trying to explain what the image is to people, or you can include um text and icons to represent that image too. So you know that there are some images that you would see that you don't even know what this particular image is all about. You don't know, but then a little description about it would bring your mind back to it. Add captions and descriptions for your tables, all of those things. I've seen people design tables and they don't put header. So they just assume that because I'm seeing amount here, money here, I should know that that's amount. It's a wrong way of designing table. If you want to design a table, put the head in there. If this is name, let it be shown that this is name. If this is amount, let it be shown that this is amount. It's not for you to design a table and you just design it like that. then provide control that's for content that starts automatically. So let's say you're doing a video, you should be able to pause. So there's an e-learning platform I and a colleague we designed together, and it's the for in the e-learning they have the options to either read the PDF or they watch the video. Now, when you're watching the video, there's some people that learn with both, that's reading PDF and watching the video at the same time. So when I was designing, I did not include the play and the pause feature. So I just included that they should just go with it. I did not include the fast forward to the back. Yes, I did not include all of those things. And then the guy was able to think about it quick, and when he was doing his presentation, that was what told the presentation that day. You can see that I did not do it, but he did it. And at the end of the day, I found out that it was at the end of the day, it was like they were giving, nice UI, because I was the one that was supposed to be monitoring this and that. But I did not do it, which from that day I learned it. Because if you're doing a video feature, so that's one thing I want us to always put in mind is if you're designing. So I was talking to some people today, some students, and one of the things I told them that you designing is very easy. Coming to Figma is the easiest thing. Like, it's the easiest thing. Why do you think people excel in some companies? Because that's the easiest thing to do, especially for companies that don't take time to conduct their due diligence or know UX the way they want to do it. Designing is the easiest thing, because I just need to go to Dribble. I need to go to on Splash. I need to go to Landing Folio. I need to go to all of these places for inspiration, and I get inspiration and come back. But then the hardest part of it is being able to know what next and what next you need to do. So I was telling them that I give you a task and then you're saying how do I go about this? What am I doing next? It's very simple. If you get your user flow ready, and aside your user flow, there are some simple questions I ask myself. I can design a landing page in one day. After designing it, I can take 3 days or 5 days to make it right. Because one of the things I do is after ask myself, uh, if I am a user, okay, let me not even use if I am a user. If I click on this part, if I click here, what is the next thing I need to do, or how do I want it to come up? Do I want it to have plenty distraction, like in terms of animation, all of that? Do I want it to do this? Do I want it to be ad? Do I want people to be glued to this thing, looking at it, and then I'll start changing it? If I use an icon that is not okay, I'll look at the icon. I might have used it while designing because I want to rush and design, and then at the end of the day, I ask myself, is this icon really representing what I want it to represent? If I click on this, so that's even the easiest way to. I've given tags and some persons just design one screen, and then and the next thing is, oh, I thought I was supposed to design just one screen. And then my question is, that screen now, if I go to this other thing that you put there, that button that you put there, where is it taking me to? You keep asking yourself, what next? What next? Till there's nothing next. And then the next thing that will be in that next is back. It will take you back. So that's how you get to know this next screens to design. So it's not like somebody will come and tell you that this is what you design for a full project. I've worked on projects that the only thing I was given is links. I was giving links to competitors. And I'm like, these are our competitors. Come up with it. And you know that one of the hardest thing is when they give you links to competitors, especially when you're designing something that has a dashboard and it's being paid for. So one of the company I work for, they are into background check in Nigeria and the UK. So recently they wanted to upgrade, they wanted to the background check they have is in Nigeria, and they wanted to build the one for the UK. And I've never been to the UK. I don't know how the checks that they conduct in the UK. And the only thing they did, my boss did, was to send me links to the competitors. And these competitors, the only thing they have is they can have a demo with you. So you can only book for a demo. I booked for different demos. Like I would just stay and I booked for demo. And that was part of my job description. Like that was part of my job. I could There was a time that I used 2 weeks to do demos. Like I was booking demos with different competitors company, and then more they'll just show me how their stuff work. And I'm taking note, I'm taking this. Some of those things are not online, they are not there. So that's why some people, when you give them work and they go on dribble, they can't find an inspiration, it becomes like an issue for them. But there are other ways to go about it. So one of the things I do, and I like asking a lot of questions when it comes to doing all of these things. So you can easily design when you keep asking yourself, what next? If I do this thing, if someone that is deaf, can the person really navigate? Someone that is blind, it's the questioning, or it's the is the ability to answer these questions that pop up when you're designing. That's what makes you a designer, and not the ability to draw shapes and all of that. I've told people that I don't really know how to do shadows, use shadows in design. I don't really know how to do it. If I want to use a blur effect, I just know that I increase my blur, reduce the opacity of my color, make my X and Y as is zero. I just put that in my head to get a soft blur effect. The higher your blur should be, very your blur number should be high. That's the only thing I know about it. But have I been designing for this thing? Yes, I have. I don't know if I've even said this before. I've resigned before in a company, and I was working hybrid. I was going 2 times a week. That was when I was going to the office, and then I sent my resignation. That I had a lot of things that I want to do. That was in July. I had a lot of things that I'm doing, so I would be able to continue. And then after sending it, my MD called me and told me, Buma, I'm not accepting your application. And I was like, why, sir? He said, I don't have any issue with you doing so many things. If you decide today that you don't want to stay in Lagos again and you want to move out, you can stay in any country, in any state that you are. Just work for us remotely. I'm the only staff in that company that works remotely. Like I am the only staff. And then while I was trying to find out why he did that, he had to now call the HR. The HR was not really comfortable about the whole agreement and all of that. But then the person that is paying salary has spoken that I should, if it's coming to the office that is my problem, or distance is my barrier, I should work from home. That if I have so many other things to do, I should do what I'm doing. The only thing they want from me is I should be able to deliver when I need to deliver. I should be able to deliver on deadline. So at the end of the day, after asking you, like, your thought process is one of the reasons why we decided to do that, because there's some things I would be busy trying to figure out how we are going to do it, and the way you figure it out. And there's some designs based on they've worked with UI UX designer previously, and what he does with me is just explain the concept. Just tell me, this is what I want you to do. I take time and do my research. I don't jump to Figma. My One of my colleague in another company that I work for, say she noticed that I'm very fast with design. And I tell her that I invest more time in. So why she is on design, why she's on Figma, you figuring out the shape, how to put this, how to put that, how to put that. I don't go on Figma immediately. If you give us a task, because we work in a very agile environment, I don't go to Figma immediately. I first of all, I'm able to visualize what I want to do in my head, look at inspiration, like just know how I want to understand this. Now there was an argument recently how I'm able to understand this. Can you guys still hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. So I saw an argument recently. Okay, let me complete this one where I don't jump to Figma. So while she's doing that 3 hours, 2 hours on Figma, I'm outside Figma. I'm looking for different inspiration. I'm looking for different things. And at the end of the day, once I come to Figma, I take let's say few hours, or if it's something that's supposed to take the whole day, and I've been able to know how I want to do it in less than some minutes, I'll do it. and then I'm done, she'll be like, "Are you done?" Or when you give her something and she doesn't understand, I'll just be like, "This is it, this is it." I've been given a design before. I don't know, I've been given a design to use a JSON this thing to come up with a design. I don't know if you know that JSON language, programming language. The guy just sent it to me and said I should come up with a design. And then normally I'm supposed to say I'm not a designer. I'm not a developer, sorry. But your ability to make research and easily understand. I just looked at the properties he wanted in the design. He said there should be a space to cancel billing. There should be, it's a subscription page. Yeah, we just use the adjacent this thing. So at the end of the day, when you're trying to design, the first thing is being able to understand what you want to design using a lot of research, be able to understand it. Then once you're done, you now get to ask yourself so many questions. So it's not just designing and leaving it. Once I'm done designing, I say, okay, once somebody is clicking here, once I'm doing this, what next? What do I see next? And all of that. So the next one we'll be talking about is okay, so I was talking about the control. So the control can be in arrows pointing left and right arrows. It can be in form of pagination and pagination showing one image sliders, carousels, maybe background sounds, video to be able to accommodate as much people as possible for you to do. So is there any question? Is there any question for me?
Um, I want to confirm, can assistive design also be referred to as designing for accessibility?
Can what?
Assistive design, sorry, assistive technology. Sorry.
Yes, 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 yes. So another another thing that I want to also cover is when you think about designing for accessibility, right? You know that there are different ways how people with accessibility access the website. Some of them access this website through tools like browser settings, text to speech, voice recognition, all of those things like face ID. There's some people that can't type, so face ID is for them. Example of such person: imagine you don't have your right hand to type and you need to open your phone, and you don't want your phone to be without security. That's where face ID comes in. That's where voice recognition comes in. That's where all of these things. Then there are some tools that they also do to help them sports. So it's hotspots on designs too. You'll be able to get hotspots, or they'll be able to know where this is supposed to be. And maybe customization. Customization also works for them. So is there another question? Any question? Guys, it's time to ask question.
Hello, ma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. We did not talk much on the use of micro interactions on to convey accessibility.
The use of micro interactions. Hello.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah.
Hello. Your voice is breaking.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
N- Hello?
I can hear you. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the use of micro interactions for accessibility, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you want to use micro interactions for accessibility, so one of the things, one of ways I explained few things that you can use to ensure that different people can use your work, and one of it is over effects, which you do with prototyping, right? You have over effects, you have clicking, you have auto suggestions. So let's say I'm trying to type John, and then you are suggesting the full spelling for it. Now that's for mostly people that can't that don't know how to spell a complete word, and you're helping them complete the spelling and all of those things. So those interactions that you do, those things that you do that makes it very easy. So one of it again is I'm trying to type something, and that blinking of my cursor showing that you're typing, all of those things. And then micro interaction, see you are doing things like there are more of it though, like there are more of it, but it's now depending on how you do it. So sometimes another thing is, sometimes instead of why we have sliders, right? Why we have sliders and all of those things. If you know that there's a slider, there's no need for someone to slide, to use his or her finger to slide. Your interaction should also be able to bring it up to them, like bring it, take it out, bring the next one, take it out, bring it, take it out, and all of that. So I should be able to see the different so there's a design I did recently, and it had the website, so I had to do it into two. I had to do it into two. That the first one is supposed to be a slider, and then I was asked to take out the slider, which I did, and it came out very well. Cause on the say just like a 5 minutes animation kind of thing. Is it if I 1 minute? So once you see this one, it goes up, and the next one comes. Cause it's the same screen. You won't even know that I designed that two times and all of that. So all of those things that you feel like other people using it, people that just put it in your mind. So the same way we say put yourself in your user's shoe, that's the same way we talk about it when you do a design for accessibility. Put yourself in the shoes of someone that has short-sightedness. Put yourself in the shoes of someone that is deaf. Put yourself in the shoe of someone that is dumb. How would this person be able to navigate your website? How will somebody that is dumb use Jumia? How will someone that is deaf use Jumia? Is there like a form of text to speech that takes them? So for someone that is blind, I can include, like I can plug in something, a text to speech kind of thing that once I come into the platform, it should be able to tell me, walk me to welcome to Jumia. Kindly go to your left. Kindly go to your left. What are you looking for? And then I reply back, I want to get a shoe. And say, okay, to get a shoe, come to search, click on those. Technologies are very expensive though. Come to search, yeah, you're in search, yeah, that's the search button. Click on it, type this, or what do you want to type, mention the kind of shoe that you want, and this is it. So all of those kind of assistants that you feel like they need, so let's take it like assistants that you feel that they need to be able to use a platform, you are able to detect that and bring it out for them.
Okay, ma. I wanted to ask again.
Okay.
Like in the case of over effect on web designs for larger screens, those kind of effects can work for mobile devices because it's designing for responsibility. How do you incorporate the interaction of those mobile effects and micro interaction to make it more accessible on mobile?
Okay. So over effect that I know works everywhere though. I don't know if I can't share that website. I would have shared it.
Like I mean on an app, like an app platform on phones.
Yeah, yeah, on app platform, yeah, I get what you're saying. So on app platform, most times you don't use over effect, you just show that you've clicked it. So that's why I have a button here, for instance, and once I click the button, or I have two buttons. Once I click one takes the color showing that I've clicked it, you get. So over effect might not work on apps, yeah. That's what I mean, but there are some other things you would use to show that this is where your mouse pointer is, this is where it is, and this is where it is, you get.
Yes, but thank you.
Okay, so over effect and suggestions that when you type, I'm not sure. I can feel that is the developers that can implement that and this. So you know that aside Figma, there are other prototyping tools which you can use to do that. You can do over effect with Figma, yeah. You can do over effect with Figma. You can do typing. You can do auto suggestions with Figma prototype. So prototyping is not what will I put it? Prototyping is not as the normal one that we know, click and drop here, do this one here, do this one here. Even in designs, you know that in design, if I want to do typing effect, like all of, instead of all those static text box that you put, you can make your text box interactive. Once you click on it, you'll be able to type all the things you want to type. If you want to type Bowman, to be showing all of those things. So you can do it as a designer, but it's advanced prototyping. So Priscilla, have I answered that? Hello, Priscilla. Oh, okay. So one of these days we'll do over effect. We'll do over effect and we'll do typing and prototyping so that you get to see how easy, not easy though, how you can implement all of those things in your design. Any other question? So I think we'll do that on Saturday, yeah? Well, I say Saturday, sorry. We'll do that on Wednesday. That's if I check my curriculum and I can do that. We'll do that on Wednesday. So there are other prototyping that we need to do that we've not done. So with time, we'll be doing all of those advanced prototyping one after the other. So there's no question again,